Hello, hope you're doing good. Just coming on to do a little bit of an update into terms of like the brand and life in general and where I see the business and where I see myself in a few years. Obviously, probably don't come on here and do this often enough. And I wish I did because I wish I could look back at times where I maybe wasn't feeling as good or where the business wasn't doing as good and kind of compare that to where I am now and how I feel now and stuff like that. So going back about a year, I was watching some videos last night and even just like looking at myself, looking at my face, looking at my energy, looking at the way I speak, looking at how negative I was in certain aspects and comparing that to where I am now, it's honestly night and day. So about a year ago, I was probably in one of the worst positions mentally that I've ever been in. I've been through some shit in my life. I don't want to go into too much detail, but yeah, some sticky situations. Well, not sticky, but yeah, just some awkward shit in my younger days where, like 17, 18, went through some shit with the ex-girlfriend's stepdad. Yeah, don't want to go into too much detail with it, but it was pretty rough and kind of through college and university just completely threw me off because my head just wasn't in a good place at all. And then it kind of took a few years to get back to, I suppose, being happy, being in a good place. But then obviously started Wolf Ups and that were going super well. Everything were brilliant, but I was just putting in way too much time and work into the brand and kind of neglecting my health and everything else, relationships, friends, stuff like that. It was just all about the business. And although that is really good at getting your business going, of course, it's really good at pushing your business to the next level. I see guys who are like 50, 60-year-old who have super successful businesses, they're millionaires, billionaires, whatever, but they don't have any family left, their wives left them, they don't have kids that like them, they might have kids but they don't live with them, they don't have any friends, all they have is the business. So I never wanted to get to that point where it was like that for me. I was seriously burnt out about 10, 11 months ago, and you can tell just by looking at the shop updates videos, you can tell that I just wasn't in a good place. Like just looking at my face, I just looked super drawn out, super ill, to be honest. And at that time, I was back and forth with the doctors, like all my lymph nodes had swollen up. I just wasn't feeling good at all. Like I wasn't training. Walking was a chore. I was feeling sick every morning with anxiety. Take the dog out on a walk, and every morning guaranteed on the walk I would throw up, which obviously that is a telltale sign that something needs to change. And it was awful, honestly, it was awful. But I kind of took a step back and I realised that I was only doing it to myself, like putting myself through 60, 70-hour working weeks, trying to build another business on the side of that, and it just wasn't good for me at all. I mean, yeah, it's a vicious cycle you can get caught up in, and everyone's telling you you're killing it, you're smashing it, but in reality, inside you feel like absolute death. So took a bit of a step back, and it were a few months ago that I decided to close the shop on Mondays. Obviously, closing the shop on Mondays, I'm probably losing out on a good 500 quid to £1,000 a month just by closing the shops on Mondays, but it's honestly so worth it. And even though I am busy now on Mondays, like it's a nice feeling when I don't have to get up and do something. Like we obviously go and record videos. Doesn't feel like work. That is the side of the business that I absolutely love. It's just nice and chilled, and focusing on my own health and not just the business health is definitely helping the business in a way. So to anyone out there who is running a business and sacrificing everything else, just take a look, like just sit down for a minute and just look at your life and look at yourself and think, is this really what I want to be doing for the rest of my life? Same applies to people working as well. Like obviously you see people who are working and just sacrifice every single aspect of their life for work. Like they'll sacrifice relationships, friendships, health for work. Is it really worth it? Like that extra bit of money, is it actually worth it? Probably not. So going forward with the brand, with Wolf Ups, I want to push the business, and that is up there with one of my top goals in life. Like I want to have a successful business. However, I'm very conscious about sacrificing my health and sacrificing other areas of my life to get there. So I feel like I'm in a super, super good headspace at the minute. Not very much can seriously throw me off. Like I say, I went through some shit when I was 17, 18, which I will not go into on YouTube just yet. But I've built quite a resilient mindset up, and obviously the first 2 years of running Wolfsups, running a shop at 22, 23-year-old, again, I've built up a lot of resilience. A lot of shit has gone wrong, and it's taught me to not get myself in a rut about it. Now I look at stuff and something goes wrong, and it's kind of like, right, it's gone wrong. Why has it gone wrong? What have I done? What have I done to put myself in that position? You can always go back and blame yourself. It's always, if you look at it like it's always your fault, instead of looking at it like, oh, why is this happening, or why is this happening? It's a really good mindset to have. So shit goes wrong all the time, but now it's just kind of like, right, what can we do to sort it? What can I do in the future to have this not happen again? So yeah, bit of a ramble from me this morning, but going forward, like I say, I want to put myself first, keep putting my health first, keep putting friends, family, obviously Rufus first, and making time for everything else. The money side of things, the business side of things, is not the top of my priorities. Like, it's high up there, obviously, but it's not the be all and end all. As long as I've got enough, as long as I'm financially in a place where I can pay my rent, I can pay for everything, and I'm not super uncomfortable, then I'm okay. But other than that, like, I don't need to be putting myself in a shitty situation health-wise to get the business to a next level. So yeah, so the brand going forward, we are just going to keep making new sick products. I'm going to take a bit of a step back and just try and enjoy it a little bit more, stop putting myself under so much stress, doing the YouTube videos, going and meeting people, like doing the stuff that's fun. Me and Tom have got a trip booked in September. We're going to Dubai again. It's a business trip. I'm putting it through the business card. Obviously, we are going to record content, but at the same time, like, we're going to enjoy ourselves. And although it might not be the best move financially, it's going to cost a little bit of money. It's just about enjoying life, and that's the main thing, looking after health and enjoying life. So Wolfsups is on the rise. We are growing month to month. I feel like we're probably not growing as fast as we would have been if I'd have carried on in my 60, 70 hour working fucking grind mode, but it's not sustainable. It's just not sustainable at all. You can push the business, you can keep pushing the business, but you are sacrificing everything else for that. And like I say, I see people, even people in the supplement industry, the guys who are doing super well in terms of the businesses are absolutely flying, but you look at them and they live by themselves, like they've got kids that they don't see. It looks like a very lonely life, and I'm looking up at them maybe 20, 30 years above me thinking, fuck, I don't want to end up in that situation. So keep the work-life balance good, prioritise your health, prioritise your friends, prioritise your family, prioritise your relationships, and everything will be good. So quick one, hope you enjoyed it. Join the pack.